Hi guys, welcome back. So in this video, I'm just showing you exactly where I got my files, I don't know how I got started into the process of making this, different excuse me, different tools I'm using for this. So let's get right into it. So first off, so this is the file. It's a 3D animation that's already been designed by someone else on Thingiverse. Um, I'll take you over to Thingiverse. I'll show you now. One sec. Thingiverse. Thingiverse. There we go. Thingiverse. Digital designs. Sorry, I'm not cutting anything out just because I want to show you exactly how I found it so that there's no question when you go to look for it, if anyone else cares to do this. So, Fullmetal Alchemist Arm. Right here. I guess there's no space between full and metal. So this is the file. It's created by Jace 1969. So if you look at it, the individual pictures, it'll show you what the arm's supposed to look like when you're done. These are each of the individual pieces of the arm separated so that you can print them, because at least for me, the printer I'm using only has 8 by 8 inch by 8 inch bed to print on, so I can't really print an entire arm. All right, and then you just download all files. I already have the files, so I'll not download them again. And it'll bring you to, or this is what it'll give you. It'll give you this right here, files and images. So the images are just the pictures you saw of each individual piece and then the combined arm together. So you don't really need to worry about those. But what you'll get right here is the arm itself, the full arm, which is this right here, or the split arm, which is a bunch of different pieces, as you saw, similar to right here. This is what the split is. It's all the pieces separated individually. So what I had to do is I had to open up, I think it was Split in Mesh Mixer. And what Mesh Mixer does, it's free software you can buy online that lets you 3D design, or you can take a something that's already been 3D designed, and you can cut it up, break it into enough pieces, small enough, so that when you're done with it, then you have this, which is all of the pieces separated. So I had to go through and separate each piece individually so that I'm able to print it out incrementally, if that makes sense. And as far as printing goes, I had to, sadly, you can't measure anything here in Cura. Yeah, so Cura is what I use to print out all my stuff. I'm using an Anet A8 printer. Funny story that goes along with that I'll get into on the next video. So yeah, I'm using an Anet A8 generic PLA 1.75, I believe. My settings as far as the speed of my print, the density of the print layers, those are all pretty close to being default. But as far as printing goes, I had to kind of estimate different pieces, or the size of each piece before I printed it, just because like I can design an entire hand in here and then try and guess that it's the right size of my hand, but I don't know, for me, each piece of my hand is different. No two fingers are the same width or the same length. The thumb especially was super difficult. I still haven't even printed the thumb. All I've gotten now is as you saw in my last two videos, I've got most of the hand done, and these center pieces, if you can see, these circular pieces right here in the palm. Right here. Okay. So that's basically everything as far as this goes. So just to recap, this is where you find the file. This is who made it. So all the credit goes to Jace 1969 for designing the file. And as far as I know, this is one of the better files out there. Maybe there are better, maybe there's worse. I don't know. This is just the one I decided to use, so you don't have to use it if you don't want to. If you'd like, I can leave if you want me to, just hit me up and then I'll leave this file with all with everything separated. I'll email that to you, or send it to whoever wants it, or even maybe have a link in the description so anyone's able to use it without having to go through and separate it like I had to. So yeah, if anyone cares to do what I'm doing, yeah, these are a couple different projects I'm working on. Darth Maul's Death Helmet, Mandalorian helmet, because the Mandalorian's awesome right now. Baby Yoda, yeah, I made one of those. Darth Revan helmet, 3D Benchy, yeah. So that's basically everything. A couple things to keep in mind when you're trying to print this is if you have any overhang layers, like especially right here, where if you were to start this piece upside down, it wouldn't print as good. So any pieces here, maybe I'll show you an issue I ran into on the, nope, not that. So I'll show you an issue I ran into on the hand. So where are we at? Fullmetal Arm files, and is it Knuckles 1? It's Knuckles 1. Alright, let's drag Knuckles 1. Come on. Well, I'll just minimize that and drag Knuckles 1 in here. So as you can see here, these right here are about the size of my thumb. So if you can tell, this is not the right size for, at least for my hand. And not that this was poorly designed, but there's a couple different pieces on here that really don't work super well with the human hand. I don't know, this curved piece right here just really gets in the way as far as, at least with me. Maybe other people have wider hands, I don't know. So with for this guy, sorry, last thing I want to show you guys before I call it a day, with this guy, because, excuse me, come on, there we go. If you see under here, you have overhangs. So when the printer tries to go and print it, it's going to have an issue because there's nothing supporting these. And if you try and print where there's nothing supporting it, your prints are going to mess up. So this one's fine just because it starts off somewhere, but these ones, if you'll see, if I can, yeah, so they start out with nothing underneath them. There's nothing, it doesn't come from the side and go back and forth. It doesn't come from underneath and go up. There's nothing underneath them. Your prints will fail if you print it just as it is. So one thing you can do, one thing I did, I flipped it upside down. $180. And I had to kind of eyeball it just because if I have it all the way upside down, right at 180, that's how it is. That's how it looks. It's yeah, as you can see, that's going to fail. That's going to be a failed print like no other. And yeah, yeah. And another thing, I needed to have supports underneath every area that there's red right here, except inside the fingers. I needed supports just because if I didn't have supports, the printer wouldn't, or it'd print it would just screw up every time. So one thing I had to do, and maybe you don't have to do this, I had to, so kind of adjust it to where it looks like it's pretty much flat as far as the finger goes, or as far as the, maybe a little bit flatter. About like that. And then everywhere that there's not, everywhere that there's an overhang on this bottom piece, I had to go into custom layers. So select it, sorry, custom supports, and put supports underneath everywhere in here. So like here, here, here. Yeah, the whole thing, if you would have seen it when I was printing it, the whole bottom piece here was covered in custom supports. Why? Because it wouldn't print if I didn't do that. So afterward, you just got to go through and sand those off, or maybe they're even able to just pluck off because they're not super thick. Yeah, anywho, that's just what I had to do. So I'll Control Z that. that's everything that I got to show you guys. If you have any questions or anything you want me to work on next, or any different projects you think may be cool, or something you want me to try so that you can know if it's safe to do for you, yeah, just hit me up, leave a comment in the description, and yeah, I think that's it. Anywho, have a good one, guys.